And just like that, it's 2024 already. On today's episode of the podcast, we'll do a recap of the last year, 2023. We'll talk about some statistics. I know some of you would like to hear that. We'll do a mini review of what happened during the year. Then I'll also give you a sneak preview of what you should expect this year. So it's not going to be a really long episode as usual. If you love this podcast, then you'll love this peek behind the scenes. So with that, welcome to the Tech Your Business podcast, where every single week we break down technology so you can easily use it in your business to do more and earn more. When I look back on the journey, we've really come a long way. Really come a long way. I remember a few weeks ago, I posted the 1 year episode that was in November. If you look around, you'll see the studio is different from when we first started. We've gone from having audio-only episodes to audio and video, which has meant me experimenting, changing so many cameras. We've changed from, I believe the first 10 episodes were solo episodes only. We've gone from that to having both solo episodes like this and guest episodes, which you've been having a lot of. So like I promised, let's go on to some statistics. According to Spotify, they created a route for the podcast. According to Spotify, we created 959 minutes of content this year. That's really weird because I think at the beginning of the year, I would have imagined myself talking for even 60 minutes, but we did it. The top country where we had listeners from on Spotify was the United States, with 47% of streams coming from the United States. That's on audio. Going over to YouTube, the top country also was the USA. The USA had a bit less, 18.6% of streams on YouTube. Other countries which followed were the UK, which came second with 10.5%. That shouldn't be too surprising. Australia with 6.8%, Canada with 5%, and Germany with 4.6% on YouTube. So those were the top 5 countries on YouTube we got viewers from. The top episode, both on Spotify and on YouTube, was episode 22 with Dinesh of Kiss Flow, where he talked about automation. And I believe probably that's because he talked about it using no code. So probably that's a popular thing among business owners. And hopefully that helps 1 or 2 people. Going on to demographics, still from YouTube, we had 83% of our listeners being male and 17% being female. Then going into age ranges, most of the audience, that's 38.4%, are in the 25 to 34 age range. 23% of the audience are in the 18 to 24 age range. 19.1% of the audience are in the 35 to 44 age range, and 10.4% are in the 45 to 54 age range, with the rest being 55 and above. This is episode 49 of the podcast, so we have 49 live episodes right now. If you're watching this, 15 of these were solo episodes and 34 have been guest episodes. And the higher number, it's actually supposed to be an equal number of solo and guest episodes, but I think I've mentioned it before. I started interviews in July of 2023, and somehow the process was a bit too efficient, and I ended up interviewing over 50 guests in August. Over, I can't remember the exact number. So what you're trying to do is just get out the guest episodes so they don't get stale. Then we go back to regular programming from February, I believe. Before I bore you with numbers, let's go on a bit of reflection about the past year. So, what do I think we've done well on the podcasts? First of all, I believe it has been consistent in the episodes coming out, consistent in sharing the episodes on social media. And that's not surprising because my team for 2023 was consistency. So thankful I stuck to it. Another thing that I think we did well in 2023 was improving continuously. So the studio started with what we had with the studio, and we are here now. Hopefully, we can move over from this. We started with the first camera when we moved to video episodes. And we're at this camera now, which you can see is a matte difference. Started with the first microphone. I know I took a picture of that on the Instagram page of the microphones we've gone through. Currently using an Audio Technica, and it's okay for now. If it isn't, let me know. Then what else? I think I'm getting better at listening. Not perfect, but getting better, especially for the interview episodes. And another thing that we've done well has been, which was actually unexpected, has been the friendships we've gotten from meeting guests from all over the world. I've spoken to people from practically every continent: South America, North America, Asia, Europe, Australia, everywhere. And it's it's been amazing. Considering I'm an introvert, yeah, it's been amazing. So we'll go on to what I think could be done better. What I think could be done better is basically making the show better for the audience, basically keeping to the promise we made when we started this show. So first of all, I would like episodes to stick to a narrow focus. So, because my initial plan for the show was people picking an episode and learning enough about a topic to implement that topic at once in their business. And listening to, especially the interview episodes, I can see some of them veered away from that. So going forward, new interviews should be coming from the second half of 2023. So going forward, I believe that will be fixed. Another thing is getting more actionable points across for business owners. It relates to the first one. The third thing, if you've noticed, we haven't done any adverts for the podcast. And that's weird considering I'm always pushing people to do paid adverts because I believe it leads to exponential growth. But there is a plan for that too. The plan is let there be at least 50 or 100 episodes. So anyone who comes in from an advert and likes what they listen to will be able to binge on at least 100 episodes, can enjoy, knock themselves out. And yeah, another thing that could be done better is getting the word out about the podcast, promotions, like I mentioned before, and getting on other podcasts, which I've already started this year. I think if you go online, you might see me on one or two. So if you have feedback on how the podcast can be better for you, how we can serve you better, please let me know. So what to expect in 2024, like I mentioned before, from February, we would have one episode a week. From February also, we'll be going back to having solo episodes, more solo episodes. So it will go back to being balanced, one solo and one guest episodes. And one guest episode. Then I believe the best way to serve business owners, when I was younger, I used to be stressed a lot by technology. So I believe going forward, each episode should be for that my previous self who was stressed by business and by technology, giving solutions to my previous self. And I believe that will be relatable for a lot of the guests. Then we'll do a lot more screening for guests. We did that. I think we accepted only about 60% of people who applied to be on the show. But since we won't have as much episodes as we had in the last couple of months, I think we'll do a lot more than that. Then, like I mentioned, promotion, you'll see ads on this everywhere. And I'll be on more podcasts too, talking about these podcasts. So that's basically it. I need to, I'm on holiday, so I need to enjoy the new year. So I'll leave you here. So if you listen and you know someone who would find value in this podcast, if you've listened to an episode and you know a business owner, you know someone else who would find value in what you've listened to, please share it to them. And if you find value in our episodes yourself, please subscribe now if you haven't already and hit the notification bell on YouTube, on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. So you can always be the first to know when there's a new episode. So till our next episode, where we'll be speaking with the business freedom designer on how to free yourself from business operations, keep taking your business and keep learning. Bye for now.